Welcome back to Houston Life. KPRC2 is teaming up with the Galveston Bay Estuary Program to raise awareness about their efforts to protect our local bays, bayous, and estuaries for future generations.
Now, from Houston to Galveston, they work closely with local organizations on important initiatives like the White Oak Bayou Riparian Restoration Project.
And earlier this month, the Houston Parks and Recreation Department, along with select volunteers, visited Little Thicket Park in the Heights to help restore the natural habitat along White Oak Bayou by planting 2,000 native plants. Producer Sabiha Mahmood and photographer Lenny Juarez were there to capture the event.
I'm the Natural Resources Manager with the Houston Parks and Recreation Department, and my team manages all the natural habitat in city parks. We oversee nature preserves. We have a big native plant propagation program which helps to impact our prairie restoration sites. We oversee wildlife, and we oversee waterways in city parks. We have a planting at Little Thicket Park. It's a City of Houston park, and it's part of our Riparian Restoration Initiative, where we are targeting the restoration of all parks adjacent to waterways. We are planting 2,000 tree seedlings. This area was really impacted by Hurricane Beryl, and we had a lot of trees come down, and it's also frequently flooded because it's adjacent to a waterway, and so it gets covered in vines, and there's a lot of invasive species that come in. So we've come in here and removed invasive species, and now there's a lot of open area to install native plants. And those species will help support native wildlife. They'll prevent erosion, which we have a really big problem with erosion at this park. So once they get larger, the roots will hold the soil and improve water quality. Pretty much this park is a drainage feature to White Oak Bayou. Everything that comes from upstream goes into this area and then down into White Oak Bayou. The things that we do in this park really have a bigger impact on the White Oak Bayou watershed. So we really rely on volunteers with our program. We have over 18,000 acres of natural area in the city of Houston, and so the volunteers that show up to our planting events help us. They've grabbed the little dibbles that are helping us to get the seedlings in. It takes all citizens in Houston to help impact the natural habitat. Choices that they're making not to litter, and because we spend a significant amount of time picking up trash that washes into our natural areas along waterways, but also volunteers throughout the city to come out to do trash cleanups, to plant trees, to plant prairie grasses. And Houston is a great city, and we have a lot of great citizens that are really involved in parks.
Why is it important for you to volunteer for an event like this?
I think it's very important because this is our habitat, this is our environment, and it's super important that we take care of it. Like, Houston is one of the biggest places where pollution is very bad. So we need volunteers to come out. We need people to take initiative and just come out and want to and have it in their heart to plant and give back to our earth.
What would you tell the people of the city about keeping our city clean, especially how we can make it more greener?
I would say if you see trash, pick it up. If you even have the thought about wanting to come and do something for our environment, share it with somebody. So if you're not able to do it and you think that you can't do it, just voice it with somebody so somebody can take initiative on your thought. And it's an amazing thing that we're doing right here. So yeah, it's very fulfilling.
Well, it's good stuff, and that planning was the first of 70 initiatives to help keep our city, keep Houston clean and green.
Pretty incredible. Joining us now with more about the Riparian Restoration Project and their partnership with the Galveston Bay Estuary Program, Kelly Andrasic from Houston Parks and Recreation Department. Kelly, welcome to Houston Life.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Well, and thanks for the work in our community. We were just chatting during the break about the green space and the future of our city. These green spaces don't just happen. Yes, we have natural bayous and estuaries, but the preservation, the conservation effort, as we just saw in this story, requires a huge group effort.
Yeah, it is a huge effort. So they're constantly changing, especially these riparian sites that are adjacent to waterways. So they're frequently flooded, and seeds from invasive species come in, trash comes in. So we're constantly having to go in and do restoration at these sites.
It's incredible. This kind of makes us all proud to be Houstonian when you see people working on the green spaces, getting out there, clearing the trash, clearing the land. What is it that drives you, and why is it so important to you? Why is this cause so important to you?
So my job is to manage all the natural habitat in city parks, and we have really fantastic natural habitat in city parks. We have over 7,400 acres of nature preserves. It supports native wildlife. We have really great partners like the Galveston Bay Estuary Program that help fund our progress in some of these sites, and they have really big benefits to the city of Houston that some people don't see, like flood mitigation and water quality improvements and supporting native wildlife. So we have a whole team that's working every day to preserve and restore them.
We're seeing some images of past plantings, and as Tessa mentioned, this is one of 70 projects that the one that we just saw. This is not just about beautifying our city, but it's actually about making it safer. I mean, it was disappointing to hear you say, you know, trash is washing in here. I feel like one of the simplest ways people can protect our future is by not littering.
Yes, that is a really big problem along our waterways. It washes from upstream, downstream, and eventually it ends up in the Gulf of Mexico, right? And so the trash is all throughout Houston. And so we have a lot of volunteer groups picking up trash, and it's making the park safer by cleaning them up, but also we're going in and removing invasive plants. And you can see in these areas. And so we want to make the natural areas beautiful, and we want people to go out and visit them and feel comfortable in them.
Yeah, we're looking at a map right now. Can you explain what this is?
So this is our riparian restoration initiative. Houston is so huge, so we just had to put a dot where they are, but they're linear features. And historically, a lot of the Houston area was coastal prairie habitat, and you would see the trees along these waterways, and that's the riparian forest that Houston had. And so a lot of them are still there, and they're just degraded. They have trash or invasive species, and we're going in and enhancing those sites. Some of them have been completely removed, and we're going back in and installing these forested buffers along our waterways. And so 70 total, we've done 26 so far.
Wow, and we're seeing the before and after of the efforts of your work. Before we let you go, the Galveston Bay Estuary Program, can you explain a little bit more about the partnership with the Houston Parks and Recreation Department?
Yeah, they're a fantastic partner. So they're one of 28 estuary programs across the country, and they facilitate partner organizations and stakeholders working in the lower Galveston Bay watershed, and we're one of those, and we really benefit from the partnership with them.
Yeah, I think we all do. So Kelly, thank you so much for your effort. I feel like everyone in Houston write you a little thank you card, but no, that would be more stuff. Everyone can get involved. For information on how you can help the Houston Parks and Recreation Department keep our city greener, all you have to do is visit Houston, Texas TX. That's HoustonTX.gov/parks.
Kelly Andrasik, thanks so much.
Thank you.